On today's Viva ENT Rock, Pop, and Soul, we're talking about the career of the legendary the Doobie Brothers, an American rock band formed in 1970 in San Jose, California, known for their flexibility in performing across numerous genres and their vocal harmonies. Active for 5 decades with their greatest success during the 1970s, the group's current lineup consists of Tom Johnston, Patrick Simmons, Michael McDonald, and John McPhee. This is hot off their performance here in the Seattle area on their latest tour. And of course, our own Devin the Dude and Darren Dutrain Camp were there to check out the music and give us a report on the show. And we're going to look back on all their hits through the various years, including China Grove, Blackwater, Taking It to the Streets, What a Fool Believes, and more. So stay tuned for a fun hour here on Viva ENT Rock, Pop, and Soul.
Be right. I think about it day and night. I feel like a king, oh yeah. And baby, can't help but stare. Such a rush, baby. Oh, when you touch me, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and dolls, cats and chicks, you're listening to Viva ENT, Talk Radio, Rock, Pop, and Soul. I'm Devin, the listening dude, and I'm here...
Hey, listening dudes, what are you listening to?
I'm listening to all the music I can get my ears on.
Rock and roll.
And I'm here in person in the studio with Darren, the millionaire, Dutrain Camp.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on again.
Get this train rolling here.
That's right. Get the train rolling.
It's been a big week for you. You crossed the 1 million mark on your channel.
I crossed the 1 million view mark on my channel, on my YouTube channel. Very awesome. So, yep.
Well, Eric's already crossed the 1 million view point a long time ago. And because he's the greatest producer in the Pacific Northwest and I think across America. I mean, where?
Probably across North America, South America, and all the other non-Americas.
It's me, Eric C.C. Reidar.
Woohoo! We're talking about the Doobie Brothers. We just saw them at the White River Amphitheater last week.
Yeah, and they were awesome.
It was quite a show. Eric, have you seen them before? Or?
Never seen the Doobie Brothers except for on TV. You know, I've definitely seen some live performances, but never have done the concert experience.
Well, I got to be 8th row at White River, so that was pretty incredible.
Yeah, we learned how to do upgrades of seating at White River Amphitheater, and it's been very, very nice, very helpful.
Yeah, the upgrade girls are the ones to talk to.
That's right. It's our new strategy at White River.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
We just saw some other brothers too, the Marley brothers.
Yep. Saw the Marley brothers, the 5 sons of Bob Marley. That was really awesome. They put on a great show as well. Yep. But those Doobie Brothers were amazing, and having the addition of Michael McDonald in the band was really awesome.
Yeah, he's probably the most famous of the Doobie Brothers. Interesting that he's back in it. I mean, aside from, what was Jeff Skunk Baxter back in the group? Because I'd say he's maybe the other most famous of the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, no, he's not back in the band with them. Of course, he's very famous for also being with Steely Dan.
Right.
And, of course, that was how Michael McDonald ended up getting recruited into the Doobie Brothers by Skunk Baxter.
And Tom Johnson, Patrick Simmons, John McPhee. The other members.
The other 3 main guys.
They've had a ton of members over the years.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like.
And they've had times when none of the original members was actually in the band. So it's they've had a definitely a long and convoluted history in terms of their personnel.
Well, they've been around for 50 years, and they're still jamming out. They were just so dynamite.
Oh, yeah, they sounded awesome. I thought they sounded great.
And the show originally was supposed to be in June 15th, but they pushed it back to September. So,
which might have been a good thing.
Yep, so it worked out.
Yeah.
And Robert Craban opened, too, so that from Tacoma,
Yeah.
local legend. So
Yeah.
Tacoma
Genius
legend.
blues player.
Yeah, he is really great. I saw him back at Bumbershoot way back in the day in the 90s, and but good to see him again, and he still has it. Yeah, but he mentioned Tacoma as well a couple times.
So the Doobie Brothers are from San Jose, California, and
Yeah.
they have some of the greatest. They've sold so many records at this point. So
Yeah, they are amazing. Yeah, I used to live not too far away from San Jose. Yeah.
Well, they're one of those bands that had huge success right from the beginning. I mean, any musician envies having your second single be a top 20 hit. And their first single, Nobody, didn't do anything. But the second single, Listen to the Music, was a smash hit and is still one of their most beloved songs. Went to number 11 back in 1972.
And it's what they encored with the other night.
And it's from their second album called Toulouse Street.
Don't you feel it growing day by day? People getting ready for the move. Some are happy, some are sad. Oh, we gotta let the music play. What the people need is a way to make them smile. It ain't so hard to do if you know how. Gotta get a message, get it on through. Lord, now mama got you ask why. Whoa, listen to the music. Whoa, listen to the music. Whoa, listen to the music all the time.
it's such a pleasant song.
Yeah, it's definitely a perfect summer jam, written by Tom Johnston, and just their first major hit. And like I said, it did go to number 11. Pretty impressive for a second single.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it took till 2020 to finally make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I'm surprised by that because they're a band that's, been around for a long time, so certainly qualified with the time constrictions, but also scored a ton of hits. So you would think they would have been, one of those earlier inductees.
Well,
Yeah.
they did get the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in 2004. So
That makes sense. One thing they were always known for was vocal harmonies.
Yeah, great
And-
vocals, harmonies, and stuff.
group has sold 40 million records worldwide. You got some of their records at home?
I don't have any records anymore, but boy, I'll tell you the one that was probably their biggest selling album, the Doobie's Greatest Hits. I had that one for sure. That was one of the first CDs I bought when CDs came out because it's got all their big hits on it.
Was that Best of the Doobies?
Yeah, sorry, Best of the Doobies. You got it. It's like 1976 or so, I think it came out.
That Certified Diamond album?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also known as Listen to the Music,
Yeah.
aptly named.
What a great album, though. I mean, it's got all their huge hits.
10 million copies sold.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's incredible. Incredible.
Well, the follow-up in 1972 and the second single from Toulouse Street was Jesus Is Just All Right, their version of that classic song, and went to number 35. Not quite as big, but very respectable top 40.
Yeah.
I don't care what they may say. I don't care what they may do. I don't care what they may say. Jesus is just alright. Oh yeah, Jesus is just alright.
Written by American singer Art Reynolds and first recorded by Reynolds' group, the Art Reynolds Singer, for their 1966 album, Telling It Like It Is. There's been various versions of this, including the Byrds, Underground Sunshine, and of course, the Doobie Brothers, and a bunch of other people covered the song. This is one of those ones that definitely gets revisited a lot, but probably the Doobie Brothers version, maybe the most famous, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you knew when that song was coming on because the video wall had like a kind of church.
Oh, that's right. You had
yeah.
like the stained glass and stuff in the background. Yeah, that was awesome.
Well, here's a song that pertains to you, Long Train Runnin'.
The Do Train Runnin'?
Do Train Run, yeah.
Long Train Runnin'.
Yeah, that was the fourth single and third smash hit.
Wow. Yeah, they played that one, and they had a bunch of kind of old time train footage.
Yeah. Now that's obviously a staple of their live sets. That song is one of their great ones.
Yep.
Either of you got any info on how they got the name aside from the obvious?
The Doobie Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we read up. Yeah, they're buddy. They were named a couple of other things before they fell onto the Doobie Brothers, and I guess they were having a hard time figuring out a good name, and so one of their buddies actually was tasked with finding him a good name, and he thought to himself, well, you guys smoke a lot of pot and play music, so why don't you call yourself the Doobie Brothers? And
well, if we figured anything better, we never thought really anything better.
Yeah. They said, I guess
that might have to do with the Doobies.
We'll pick that until something better comes along, and nothing better came along.
Interesting.
Yeah, awesome.
Surprising that they got away with that, and still got all the airplay that they did.
Right.
But I mean, if they called themselves, the Marijuana Brothers, I mean, maybe not, but maybe Doobie was just enough of a slang term that some squares didn't get it.
Right.
Till it was too late.
Exactly.
There's a little bit of Long Train Running. The song that I didn't know by the title, but as soon as you hear any bit of it, it's very recognizable.
Well, what you been now, la, la.
The other night, John McPhee pulled out the harmonica and did that solo, and it was awesome.
It was an experience.
Oh yeah, it was great.
It was kind of intimate. There wasn't that, like the locals, some of these shows, there's only been like 4,000 people showing up. What's the deal with concerts? There seems to be less people showing up the shows.
Yeah, people get out and see concerts. There's some good stuff out there, and the shows haven't been full, so Then
like this weekend, like tomorrow, Little River Band down at the Temple Theater.
Wow.
And then also Billy Bob Thornton's at the Snoqualmie Casino.
I thought I was flashing back by going and seeing a couple 90s bands this coming week, but you're flashing way back to the 70s.
Oh, yeah. We saw the Turtles, we saw the Cowsills, Badfinger.
So we were doing the 60s last week, doing the 70s this week.
And
Love
then
it.
ZZ Top, Leonard Skinner's just around the corner.
That's why we're the time travelers.
There you go.
But then the 90s is coming around with Green Day again.
Right.
Smashing Pumpkins. So, Darren, what is your favorite Doobie Brothers song?
Oh, my favorite Doobie Brothers song is China Grove, by far and away. That song is a rocker. Yeah.
And it was the follow-up to Long Train Running.
That's
in
right.
fact, not quite as big as a hit, went to number 15, but still one of their best-known and most beloved songs off their third album, The Captain and Me.
When the sun comes up on a sleepy little town down around San Antonio, and the folks are rising for another day, round about their home. The people of the town are strange, and they're proud of where they came. Where you talking about the time I grow?
Another one written and sung by Tom Johnston.
Yeah.
And while there's a real place named China Grove in Texas, Johnston's lyrics about the community are mostly fictional. But the song spent 8 weeks in the top 40.
When the sun goes down,
The part about the samurai swords is real, though.
say that the father's insane. Dear Mrs. Perkins again. We're talking about the China Grove. China Grove. But every day there's a new thing coming. The ways of the Oriental view. The sheriff and his buddies with the samurai swords. You can even hear the music at night.
Oh, the keys, yeah.
And though it's a part
Michael McDonald on the keys there, eh?
No.
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 Well, who was on the keys then?
Michael McDonald was not in the band at that point.
There's just been so many kind of iterations. Like
Yeah,
members
Michael-
seem to come and go in
Michael
this band.
McDonald didn't join the band until 1975, so that was
Oh,
a
and this
little
is
bit after that.
this is like 72 still.
73.
73. Okay.
So Bill Payne is credited for a piano on the track.
Yeah.
Right on.
And he was a member of Little Feat, the band Little Feat as well, Bill Payne. Yeah.
That's correct.
Well, my favorite song is by far Blackwater.
Yeah.
That's one at the Federal Way. There was I was DJing down there, and we get this requested frequently. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's definitely played at a lot of wedding receptions and parties and stuff. A big hit. But the follow-up to China Grove was actually from their next album called What Were Once Vices Are Now Habits. And the first single off of that was a top 40 hit, went to number 32 in 1974 and was called Another Park, Another Sunday.
Yeah, I love this song.
But I'll give you a guess what the second single was.
Where have you gone? City streets and lonely highways I travel down. My car's empty and the radio just seems to bring me down. I'm just trying to find me a pretty smile that I can get into.
Yeah, this is not one that I remember all that well, to be honest, but another top 40 hit for them. And the follow-up to that, Eyes of Silver, went to number 52. They reissued Nobody, which was their first single in 1974. That actually charted at number 58, but it was indeed Blackwater, the third single from Once Were Vices, that went to number 1 and was one of their biggest hits of all time.
And this one, they love to have the crowd sing along during the shows always.
I bet.
Yeah.
Kind of a country feel to this one, which is a little bit different than their earlier work.
Yeah. She's calling my name.
But one staple of the early Doobie stuff was really good acoustic guitar. Very intricate, acoustic guitar, like melodies, progressions and sound.
Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Yeah, keep on shining your light. Gonna make everything great. Mama gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry.
If it rains, I don't care.
Well, if it rains, I don't care. Don't make no difference to me. Just take that streetcar, let's go.
The song, yeah. So they have country. They're kind of like, what genre are they? They're kind of genre jumping.
A little bit of country, a little bit of folk, a little bit of rock,
a little R&B.
Yeah. And then when Michael McDonald hit the scene in 1975, they included a little bit of soul. Yeah.
So what song would you consider has a lot of soul by them then?
Oh, well, we'll get to that stuff later when we get to the Michael McDonald era, but we're not quite there yet, right, Eric?
Correct. Yeah, we are up to Take Me in Your Arms, Rock Me, which went to number 11 and was for the from their album called Stampede.
Yep, which is a cover. Gotta love a good song with good hand clapping in it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this song was covered by the Isley Brothers.
Yeah. But this, as I had said, this was also a cover by the Doobies. Somebody else wrote this.
It's a Kim Weston song, right?
Well, yeah, there's a little, it's another guy. It's Eddie somebody. Kim Weston is one of the first people to record it, but...
Yeah, the first hit recording was sung by Kim Weston in 1965, but most popular in 1975 when it was recorded by the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Not Blood, Sweat, and Tears or Mother Earth. Yeah.
No.
So, promotional tour for Stampede in spring in 1975, but their health wasn't doing too hot at this point.
Tom Johnston had a lot of health problems, and that was what caused him to go in and out of the band and caused them to have the many lineup changes that I had mentioned earlier.
But he's still with the band.
Well, his health got better. Yeah, we
just saw him, right?
He wasn't with them for a long time.
Wow.
And he finally got his health back together not too long ago, and finally got everything going again. Yeah.
Well, Stampede yielded another top 40 hit. Just making it to top 40 was Sweet Maxine in 1975.
Yeah, they played this the other night.
Yeah, this maybe a little formulaic for the Doobies. Kind of sounds like a lot of their other songs. But hey, they knew what people liked. So sometimes, you want to do a crowd pleaser.
Oh, well, quite a few of their songs sound fairly similar as I went through some of it.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs by them, Music is the Doctor, that has that same
kind of boogie-woogie kind of feel.
Has that same feel as well.
Well, they did kind of take a step forward or, got maybe a little more adventurous with their sixth album called Taking It to the Streets. And, of course, the big change here was that Michael McDonald became an integral member of the band. And it paid off because this was a smash hit. And this was a song written by Michael McDonald. And, of course, he had taken over doing piano and lead vocals for the group for Taking It to the Streets.
Sounds like Steely Dan, too. There's some influences there.
A little bit. I was going to say, I think on that album, they sort of split duties. Tom Johnston and Michael McDonald, just on that one album. And then I think after that was when really Michael sort of took over for the next 2 or 3 albums. But as far as I remember, Tom has some stuff on that album as well. Tom
Johnson was dealing with stomach ulcers during Stampede, and his condition worsened. Several shows were canceled, with Johnson forced to reduce his involvement with the band, the other members considering disbanding. But while in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, member Jeff Baxter suggested calling up friend and fellow Steely Dan graduate Michael McDonald, who at the time was between gigs and living in a garage apartment. Wow, hard to think of a guy that became so famous as Michael McDonald. You all got to have to start somewhere, and Michael McDonald was no exception.
Right.
But oddly, he was reluctant at first, feeling he was not what they wanted. According to him, they were looking for someone who could play a Hammond organ and lots of keyboards, and he was just a songwriter / piano hacker. But more than anything, I think they were looking for a singer to fill Tommy's shoes. He agreed to join them and meet them at La Pavilion Hotel in New Orleans, where they moved into a warehouse to rehearse for the next 2 days, expecting to be finished once touring was completed. McDonald was surprised when the band invited him to the studio to work on their next album, which became Taking It to the Streets.
Yeah. Awesome.
And they really refined their sound there, and they changed.
Well, as I had said, they brought in a little bit of the soul and also a little bit of the funk.
Yeah.
Into the stuff that he was writing.
And this is before they bought their airplane. They had the Doobie Brothers airplane at one point.
Right.
And it might have seemed like okay, we made the right decision because Taking It to the Streets, the title track, went to number 11, smash hit. Of course, it's rare that people accept a whole new singer. Maybe not everybody knew that Will Johnson was sidelined by stomach ulcers. It's really hard to get an established band's fans to accept a whole new guy coming in and taking over like Michael McDonald did.
I can tell you one famous case where it went well, though, was AC/DC.
That is one case. I think people realized, it was that or nothing, Will Johnson was still alive at this point.
But Brian Johnson was an awesome replacement for Bon Scott in AC/DC, so I think that was part of why it went over very well as well. Yeah.
But then the follow-up single to Taking It to the Streets only went to 87, Wheels of Fortune.
Oh, it's not It Keeps You Running?
In fact, It Keeps You Running was the third single, but that must have reassured them because that was also a top 40 hit. And this is one where it seems like it would have been bigger because this is, I think, one of their most beloved songs to this day, and it's had quite a lot of airplay all the way since the 70s to now.
Like early synth, like it seems like
for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I noticed the other night at the Doobie Brothers show
it
that
just seemed like it was compressed or something, but
no,
that's just the way it sounds.
I was going to say though, Michael McDonald had a Leslie cabinet. You know what a Leslie cabinet is, right?
Right. Yeah.
For
rotating
like
speaker.
Yeah, for an old like keyboard, like a Hammond or something. And so anyway, I was watching that thing spin every now and then during the show, which is funny because that took me back to my very second concert ever. Back in 1983, saw the Grateful Dead, and their keyboard player Brent Midland had a Leslie cabinet, and at that time I was like 15. I didn't even know what it was, but I stared at it a lot that night. I remember spinning, but it doesn't spin at a consistent rate. It just sort of spins whenever it wants to.
Yeah, that's what helps make that kind of eerie sound.
That whooshing sound, which is great. Yeah. So anyway, he had one of those the other night.
So two smash hits from 1976's Taking It to the Street. Michael McDonald firmly in the band as the lead singer and main songwriter. They were still, of course, mixing in a lot of covers. But the following album, Living on the Fault Line, didn't quite do as well. They had the minor hits, Little Darling, I Need You, and Echo of Love in 1977. Not smash hits, but the follow-up album, Minute by Minute, scored them another number one, which is What a Fool Believes. And this is not only the song that I think of when I think of the Doobie Brothers. This is one of the songs that I think of when I think of my childhood, because this was all over the radio constantly.
Is this the one that was co-written by Kenny Loggins?
I think you're right.
Yep, written by Kenny Loggins, and the second number one single.
Yeah, behind Blackwater.
Never coming near what you wanted to say, only to realize it never really was. She had a place in his life. He never made her think twice as she rises to
And then there's those synthy keyboards again.
And yeah, this won him a Grammy Award for Record of the Year.
Yeah.
With a songwriting duo with Ted Templeman.
Yeah. Who is also famous for producing Van Halen, among others.
And this album won a Grammy for the pop vocal performance by a group and was nominated for Album of the Year. But I think that was about the time of Stevie Wonder with 1976 or 78. I mean, it's still...
Yeah, 1978. This album, Stevie Wonder would have been, making some of his best music around this time as well, for sure. And Minute by Minute was the 8th studio album by the Doobie Brothers, and yielded that smash hit "What a Fool Believes," went to number 1, but also a huge single with the title track "Minute by Minute." This was the last album to include John Hartman and Jeff "Skunk" Baxter. They were just masters of those super catchy choruses.
Yeah.
Especially with the vocal interplay.
Yeah, so great. Michael McDonald knew how to write a good song.
Now, Minute by Minute made the Doobie Brothers one of the big winners at the 22nd Grammy Awards. The album got the award for Best Pop Vocal Performance by a Duo or Group and received a nomination for the Album of the Year, the single for What a Fool Believes, and earned them 3 Grammys, including Song and Record of the Year.
Yeah.
And they're touring in 1979, like at Madison Square Garden and at New York City's Battery Park for the No Nukes benefit shows with Bonnie Raitt, Crosby, Stills and Nash, James Taylor, Carly Simon, Jackson Browne, Bruce Springsteen, and John Hall. Some of those artists sound kind of like Laurel Canyon Legacy, who we're seeing tomorrow night at the Tractor Tavern.
Yeah. Some members from there.
Yeah, they play all the Laurel Canyon hits like those.
Another big hit from Minute by Minute was Depending on You, which went to number 25. So 3 top 30 singles off this one album.
And they did this one the other night.
So they were pretty much at their peak, I would say, in 1979.
The Doobies were on fire.
There you go. They were smoking, if you will.
Smoking.
You're gonna win life's loving cup. Darling, you're always there at the rescue. Depending on you. Darling, you're always there by my side. You're always there by my side. Darling, you're always there at my rescue. Hey, yeah, yeah. And when I get too high, you better pull me down.
So, funny thing about this song right here is that right when I moved here to Washington from Indiana, it was like late 78, 79, so right around this time. And there was a store called Sports West that sold sporting equipment.
Uh-huh.
And their theme song was very similar
Like the jingle in their commercials and stuff?
Yes, to Depending on You. And I always thought to myself, was this the influence for that?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
One way or another.
It's a great song.
Depends which came out first.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they crossed the threshold into the 80s with a new album called One Step Closer, which another smash hit, Real Love, which went to number 5.
If only just tonight, girl, let me hear you lie just a little.
This is Michael
And definitely fully embracing, soul and R&B in the music. And, they were actually getting airplay on R&B stations at this time.
Wrong Michael.
This is Michael McDonald then. Well, Minute by Minute's triumph was bittersweet because it coincided with the near dissolution of the band, because all the pressure of touring and releasing an album each year wore the members down. Baxter and McDonald had a creative conflict, and there's more about that in the documentary Behind the Music, which aired on VH1 in 2001, so I'll have to find that documentary about that.
Yeah, that was a very popular show at the time and featured the stories of so many artists. That was a good episode for sure.
I've seen a few of those, but yeah, I need to.
Oh yeah,
dig
that was
those.
a great series.
VH1 still a thing?
It is in theory.
Kind of like MTV.
Yeah, I don't know how many people still have cable packages that include it, but
I don't even have cable these days. I don't have time for that. I'm rocking out every night.
I think it was on my YouTube
Same.
TV thing at one point.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, One Step Closer was their album in 1980, which featured the single we just covered called Real Love, but also featured the title track, One Step Closer, which was another hit.
And they did this one the other night.
Went to number 24.
And that's not Michael McDonald on lead vocals. It's the other guy, right?
Tom Johnson?
No, it's not Tom either. It's one of the newer guys.
And they're still putting out new music, which is great.
I mean, I hear Michael there in the background, but I think the lead vocals are sung.
Right.
There's Michael right there, but because during the show, the other guy, I think it was Pat. What's his name? Pat Simmons.
Patrick Simmons, was doing guitars and lead and backing vocals at this time.
Yeah, so that might have been one of his songs.
Right. And one of their weaker efforts, if you ask me, but it was a hit for them, which were getting, by this point in their career, a little harder to come by. Not everything that they put out was a smash anymore. And the band was getting closer to calling it quits, at least for a while.
And then in 1990.
I got to say, they put out a live album after One Step Closer, along with compilations, Best of the Doobies. And they did a live album called Farewell Tour, which featured You Belong to Me, which became a hit with the live recording that was released as a single, but it wasn't particularly big.
This is after they got back together during Hudson had become an active member of the Vietnam Veterans Aid Foundation, and they put on a concert to benefit the veterans' causes, and they got back together, and then
And it was like he convinced like 11 previous members or something.
Yeah, Tom Johnson, Pat Simmons,
join.
Jeff Baxter, John McPhee, John Hartman, Michael Hosack, Chet McCracken, Michael McDonald, Cornelius Bumkus, Bobby Landkine, Tyron Porter, plus their longtime record producer and good friend Ted Templeton.
Wow,
Templeman.
a cast of thousands. Now you're talking about Cycles, I think, which came out in '89. The Farewell Tour album came out in '83.
Yeah, my bad. 89. 90 was when they toured, and I actually saw the tour for Cycles.
Oh,
Right.
Have you seen them before tonight?
Yeah.
How many times have you seen them?
I'll throw this one out because I want to get this one in here. So I just broke a long-standing tie for the second, most band I've ever seen live. I saw the Grateful Dead 11 times. There was a long second-place tie with a bunch of bands for seeing them 4 times. But the other night, I saw the Doobies for the 5th time. So now they're in second place. But the thing was, I had never seen them with Michael McDonald before. The 4 previous times I had only seen them with Tom Johnston. In 1990 on Cycles, in 91 on the Brotherhood tour, and then in 17 at the Classic Northwest with Eagles, and then also with Steely Dan in 18. Which is, and then of course Michael McDonald got back together with them in 19. So that was why I had never seen Michael McDonald with them really. But it was great to see them the other night with Michael McDonald finally.
So was one of the best times you've seen them then?
Yeah, absolutely. Because all those other times they were never able to really play all those great hits that Michael McDonald sang on and did, except for maybe taking it to the street.
And they would have been divided to the early part of their career as opposed to, the second part of smash hits. So very smart that they're able to get both of those guys together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But one of my all-time favorite songs by the Doobies is from that Cycles album called Music is the Doctor. The Doctor.
Absolutely, and that was their last smash hit.
Yeah.
The Doctor went to number 9 in 1989. Here is a little bit Farewell Tour, because there was that 6-year hiatus, and this live version of You Belong to Me went to number 79, and then we'll come back with The Doctor.
A little slower than the original.
And that's, of course, originally by Carly Simon. She teamed up with Michael McDonald to write the song.
Yeah. Carly was a great songwriter.
So this is kind of like when the Go-Go's and Fun Boy 3 teamed up to write a song together called Our Lips Are Sealed. And then Fun Boy 3 released it. It became a hit in the UK. The Go-Go's released it in the US. It became a hit in the US.
Yeah.
So kind of one of those things where two songwriters team up and both of them get hits out of the same song.
Yeah.
Speaking of hits, when
sort of like Jackson Browne and the Eagles with Take It Easy.
Well, they need to do another big peace concert like they did in July 4th of 1987 with Bonnie Raitt, James Taylor, and Santana sharing the bill.
There you go.
Yeah. But big hits. All these views because we documented the concert, so it's on our channels here. So
yep. That show that we saw at White River last week is definitely on the web.
And it's impressive that you edit in real time, because I just record the concert and edit later.
Sometimes it leads
you just
to,
know the songs.
It leads to
though.
mistakes sometimes, but it's all good.
Guys, unfortunately, we're running out of time, so we will go out with their smash hit, The Doctor, their last big hit, in fact. As I said, that was the reunion album called Cycles in 1989 and went to number 9. But after that, they really didn't bother the charts. But one great hit to leave off their career with, and one great hit for us to leave the show today with. But anything else you want to plug or mention before we say goodbye today?
Well, this won't be the last time
Facebook page.
Yeah, this won't be the last time we're talking about the Doobie Brothers. I'm sure.
Sure.
Johnny has seen him a few times.
Yeah. But Viva ENT, Rock Pop and Soul Facebook page. Come join the page and interact. It's a fun page to be on and interact on.
It's all about music.
And then Devin's got I mentioned my YouTube channel, YouTube Dutrain.
And you got the other one too.
Million.
The other one that's building up.
And my Grateful Dead channel. Anyway, and you've got your big channel.
Yeah, the Devin Creisler Studios of over 10,000 videos, including Eric's band, Battersea.
Yeah.
Any shows coming up for you? Or
we're kind of taking a hiatus to write more music here, and hopefully
put out another album.
A follow-up second album.
Yeah, cool.
We're working on that at the moment, so we should see some new shows either late fall or next year. But
and I'm stoked for tonight. I'm going to go see the Almost Live at Mohai. And then tomorrow, Laurel Canyon Legacy.
Right.
And then on Saturday, we're going to Clock Out Lounge. We're going to see a member of Fugazi in one of their bands.
Yeah.
Soul Coughing's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be great. I'm seeing them in San Francisco. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. And ZZ Top, Leonard Skinner, and
what
Green
venue
Day.
is that at?
Yeah, where are you going?
Fillmore.
Oh, nice.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah, very legendary.
I'm going to be
Grateful Dead, my favorite band, played there a lot of times.
in Showbox Market. So, well.
Cool.
Everyone, keep on, we keep on like that train to keep on running.
And, of course, music is the doctor.
That's right. Here we go with the doctor. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for listening to Viva ENT, Rock, Pop, and Soul. Catch us here every Thursday at 5 o'clock talking about the legends of rock and roll.